Welcome all. Today's top breaking news with Gitanjali from Bayan Times. Three lanterns pillar demolished in Vizianagaram. Kicking up a controversy, the Vizianagaram civic body on Friday night dismantled Three Lanterns Pillar, a popular landmark in the town, drawing criticism from various quarters including TDP and other opposition parties. While former Union Minister P. Ashok Gajpati Raju said the demolition hurt sentiments of people, Mansa's Trust chairperson Sancheta Gajpati Raju observed that it was not correct to politicize the issue as the pillar was only removed as part of the restoration works. Vizianagaram civic body on Friday night dismantled Three Lanterns Pillar, a popular landmark in the town, drawing criticism from various quarters including TDP and other opposition parties. 17 persons who returned to Andhra from foreign countries test positive for COVID-19. A total of 17 people who returned from foreign countries to their native places in Andhra Pradesh tested positive for COVID-19 in the past 24 hours. Apart from this returnees, 66 others tested positive for the virus, taking the total number of positive cases to 2,780. The tally includes 153 people from other states of the country. According to the media bulletin released on Sunday, a staggering 11,357 samples were tested between Saturday 9 am to Sunday 9 am, of which 66 tested positive. 11 more persons who have travel history to Coimbatore market in the neighboring state of Tamil Nadu also tested positive. Of the 17 who tested positive for the virus, 12 arrived in Kadapa district from Kuwait, while 3 others came from Saudi Arabia and 2 from Qatar to their other places in the flights operated by the center under the Vande Bharat mission to bring back stranded non-resident Indians from abroad. Meanwhile, 29 persons got discharged from hospitals across the state in the past 24 hours. "19 more test positive in East Godavari, active cases rise to 49. 19 coronavirus positive cases were reported in East Godavari district on Saturday, taking the tally to 95. All the new cases are the contacts of the 60-year-old positive patient who died recently. On Friday, 11 persons who came in contact with him tested positive. The 60-year-old man used to work as a clerk in a hotel at G. Mamidada and also as a photographer. He was a diabetic and suffered from fever and respiratory problems. Doctors and nurses at Kakinada Government General Hospital who treated the man were sent to quarantine. District Medical and Health Officer Dr. Satya Sushila said that 46 persons have been discharged from hospitals so far, adding that 49 persons are undergoing treatment in hospitals. The district administration declared G. Mamidada a red zone. Barricades were placed in Padapudi and Bikavalu mandals to restrict the movement of the people. Beneficiaries of Andhra government schemes join issue with Ranganaikama. The derogatory comments made by a TDP sympathizer, 60-year-old Ranganaikama, against the state government and the subsequent notices issued to her by the CID have kicked up a political slugfest. While the TDP has cried foul, alleging stifling of freedom of expression, the ruling YSRC has accused the opposition of using the senior citizen to mislead the people. On Saturday, a new dimension was added to the controversy with beneficiaries of government schemes and YSRC supporters, in particular women joining issue with Ranganaikama. A woman belonging to the scheduled caste speaking to the media sought to know why couldn't the TDP sympathizer see what Chief Minister Y.S. Jagannath Reddy has been doing in the last 1 year impartially. It is grossly unfair. Build Andhra Pradesh for improving state financial status, says Bocha Satyanarayana. Even as the opposition parties demanded that the YSRC government scrapped its plan to auction public properties under Mission Build Andhra Pradesh, Municipal Administration and Urban Development Minister Bocha Satyanarayana has maintained that liquidation of public assets and creation of new properties is part of governance. He added the government plan to liquidate public assets for improving state's financial position, for the welfare of the poor and for development of infrastructure in rural and remote areas. Speaking to the media here on Saturday to talk about the achievements of the YSRC government, marking its first anniversary, the minister, to a query, said, Chandrababu Naidu has no right to talk about this issue. When he was in power between 1999 and 2004, they sold off a 2-acre RDO office and several other assets. He added that, unlike the TDP government, the YSRC was going for an open auction in a transparent way. Special teams inspect 19 hazardous units in Vishakhapatnam. A committee has been formed to assess the safety parameters in various industries, particularly major hazardous ones in Vishakhapatnam district, following the May 7 gas leak at LG Polymers plant, which claimed 12 lives and hospitalized several hundreds. The committee formed special teams to inspect the conditions of all major hazardous industries during lockdown in the district. Inspector of Factories Prasad said the teams have already visited 19 industries and will submit the reports to District Collector V. Vinay Chand on Monday. In the reports, they have suggested measures to step up safety mechanism through automation and database in the industries, though most of these units are following standard operating procedure SOP as per the safety of protocols. Prasad said he recommended the industries to lay more focus on public awareness about the safety measures and a separate cell should be set up by them for the purpose. He said there are 10 to 12 hazardous industries, including Hindustan Petroleum Corporation Limited, HPCL, Indian Oil Corporation Limited, IOC, and Bharat Petroleum Corporation Limited, BPCL, in the city. Thermal screening must for passengers at PNBs in Andhra Pradesh. Andhra Pradesh State Road Transport Corporation APSRTC on Saturday started screening passengers with thermal screeners before they boarded buses at Pandit Nehru Bus Station PNBs. The move has been made mandatory for all as a number of people are opting to take bus routes to go for their hometowns and places of work after fresh relaxations in Krishna district on Thursday. As part of the initiative, the RTC staff also ensured that the passengers sanitize their hands before starting their journeys. We were provided with 5 thermal screening guns to screen the passengers before they board the buses. Those without any symptoms of coronavirus are allowed to travel. In case of any person is symptomatic, he or she will be taken to the testing center at Indira Gandhi Municipal Corporation Stadium, APSRTC Krishna Regional Manager G. Nagendra Prasad told. BJP accuses TRS of irrigation scam, demands a CBI investigation. BJP State President and Karimnagar MP Bandi Sanjay Kumar accused the TRS-led state government of favoring its close aides in allocating irrigation projects. A BJP delegation consisting of an MLC and MP Bandi Sanjay demanded a CBI inquiry into the issue and submitted a memorandum to Government Tamil Sai Soundarajan at Raj Bhavan on Saturday. The delegation accused the TRS government of swindling thousands of crores from the state exchequer. It alleged that the cost of the Palamuru Rangareddy lift irrigation scheme (PRLIS) on the river Krishna was increased from 32,500 crore to 52,000 crore, but the lift capacity was reduced from 2 TMC feet to 1 TMC feet. Later addressing the media, Bandi Sanjay alleged that Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao was part of the irrigation scam. Instead of completing the projects started by the previous governments that are around 90% complete, the TRS-led state are after PRLIS just for cutbacks from their favoured firms, Bandi Sanjay said. "52 new COVID cases in Telangana, 33 in GHMC areas." Telangana recorded 52 new COVID-19 positive cases on Saturday, of which 33 were from GHMC areas. Among the rest, 15 are migrants from Maharashtra, 4 are foreign evacuees from Kuwait and a doctor. One death was also recorded, taking the toll to 49. The state's total cases stand at 1,813, of which 1,068 patients recovered and 696 are active cases. The highest number of positive migrant cases was recorded in Yadadri 31 and Jagtial 30, followed by Mancherial at 23. A total of 12 districts are affected by migrants and foreign evacuee cases. Meanwhile, another doctor of Gandhi Hospital tested positive, taking the total of 2 such cases so far. Also, Health Minister Yetala Rajender announced that a 450-bed hospital has been built at Nacharam to treat laborers. The hospital will start functioning in 20 days. It will serve as a special hospital for workers post-COVID, he said. Telangana government shifts focus to Malana Sagar. Now that Kundapochamma reservoir is almost out of the way, the state government has shifted its attention to the Malana Sagar project. The reservoir has a capacity of 52 TMC feet. Though the government intended to complete the project quickly, its plan was foiled by a series of court cases and land acquisition delays. A total of 7 villages are to be submerged under the Malana Sagar project and around 6,000 outstates reside in these villages. Half of them have told the government that they didn't need double bedroom houses and instead wanted monetary welfare 5.04 lakh per family. The others have not yet been allotted houses in the rehabilitation colony at Mutrajpalli. Construction of around 2,000 houses have already been completed and the others would be ready within a month, said official sources. District Collector P. Venkatraman Reddy visited Mutrajpalli and inspected the houses being constructed. He directed the officials to expedite the work and complete it in a month. He said he would visit the site twice a week to ensure there was no delay. Telangana to raise voice against unhealthy tax regime. With the collection of cesses and surcharges becoming a permanent feature of the country's tax regime, more so far after Narendra Modi took reins as Prime Minister, Telangana government is all set to raise its voice against this unhealthy practice. The cash-strapped state governments, due to the economic slowdown followed by the lockdown in view of the coronavirus, are raising concerns over the ever-increasing share of cesses and surcharges in the gross tax revenue collection of the union government. According to an estimate, Telangana is losing around rupees 3,000 crore every year due to the cesses and surcharges being collected by the central government. The 15th Finance Commission estimated that the cesses and surcharges would be around 17.8% of the gross tax revenue of the union government in the 2020-21, as per the Article 2070 of the Constitution of India. Telangana government to the aid of handloom weavers. The state government has decided to pay money to weavers under Netanyahu Chayutha well in advance of the completion of the scheme, said IT Industries and Textile Minister K.T. Ramarao. At a review meeting here on Saturday, the minister said the government was taking special measures to protect the interest of the weavers in the state. The decision to pay them money is to help them tide over the present crisis caused by the COVID-19 outbreak and the subsequent lockdown. As part of the Netanyahu Chayutha, the handloom weavers have to contribute 8% towards the savings scheme, while the government would pay 16%. The lock-in period for the thrift scheme is 3 years, and so far the weavers have contributed 31 crore, while the government has contributed 62 crore. As the government has decided to pay the amount of the weavers well before the completion of the lockdown in period, around 26,500 weavers in the state would get 93 crore. Congress to stage Diksha along Krishna Godavari. TPCC President and Nalgonda MP N. Uttam Kumar Reddy has announced that the party would stage a Diksha demanding the completion of pending irrigation projects on the Krishna and Godavari rivers in the state. In a meeting with senior party leaders at Gandhi Bhavan on Saturday, he said that the Diksha would be held on the State Formation Day, June 2 from 10 am to 5 pm. A series of protests would be staged at different irrigation project sites along the Krishna. Listing out the names of the protesters and the protest sites, Uttam added that the party would also stage a Diksha on June 6 along the Godavari. He also announced 4 committees comprising senior leaders to dig into the alleged irregularities in the state's finance, education, new agriculture policy, and others. Uttam further said he would approach the High Court opposing the district collector's cap on the sale of seeds. The party is said to meet farmers on June 3 and 4. Two women die after surgeries go wrong in Telangana. Two women, one who was being treated for piles and the other who underwent a tubectomy at a private hospital here, died after their surgeries failed. Police personnel were deployed at the hospital to avoid any untoward incident. According to the police, Banuta Sheila, 25, from Manala in Rudrangi Mandal, was admitted to Teja Hospital for piles. Soon after her surgery, she began vomiting and complained of the stomachache. She was referred to Karimnagar, where doctors declared her pronounced dead. In the second case, Gajwala Ravli, 24, who underwent a tubectomy at the same hospital, died after the surgery. Both the women's families accused Dr. P. Raghu of Teja Hospital for negligence and demanded inquiry. CIM Venkat Narsiya said cases were registered against the doctor and the hospital. Collector D. Krishna Bhaskar also ordered a probe into the deaths. DMHO Dr. A. Suman Mohan Rao seized the hospital. A special inquiry committee would be constituted and those responsible would be brought to book, he said. With this, we conclude with our today's news headlines. For more such latest news and updates, like, share and subscribe Payan Times. Stay tuned, stay updated.